their way to teach all of us. So I don't know, man.
Thanks. Yes, more. Come on.
Hi, I'm not really one for public speaking, but honestly, without the adjunct professors like Professor McLeod, Professor Cox, Professor Johnson, I wouldn't know what I wanted to do when I grew up. Without them, I probably would work at Burger King or something. I mean, I don't know. Got yeah, yeah.
Thanks. Are there any of my students? Yes. Okay, come on. You're not my student? No. I had a professor a few semesters ago. I don't think he's still here anymore. I haven't seen him for a while. Professor Nick Shore. He was an English teacher, and he was an adjunct. And I know he was going to at least 3 different campuses. And I've never felt like that a professor was willing to give so much of his time to help each individual student. As this one guy, he at the beginning of the semester, he told us that we would all be meeting with him individually like 3 times over the course of the semester, and that's what he did. It was actually part of our grade, and I know that he was going to Southwestern and Palomar. He was teaching here. He actually said that being an adjunct was almost like a rite of passage for being a professor. Like you had to almost earn your way to full time, and I had no idea that adjuncts spent quite so much time, so many years being adjuncts, trying for full time, but. He was one of my best professors, so attentive and so dedicated. And I think that's really probably why these adjunct professors are still out here doing this, because it's something they really believe in. So yeah, I think this is probably really, really important to each of their individual lives, and every single one of these things that we can fill out will make a meaningful difference. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, and so, right on, come on.
So I went to a 4-year university out in Boston, and I felt a lot of the time that the professors that I did have that were full-time didn't really teach to the quality that the school was promising you. It was always the TAs, anyone who was part-time, that usually gave up a lot more of their time that they didn't have. And being in the community college system here and getting ready to transfer to another college someplace else, I've seen that a lot of my adjunct professors are the ones who dedicate a lot more of their time. I've had wonderful professors here. I've learned so much more, had a lot of fun, had a lot of great classes, some not so great, but I think that it's really unfair that people are working hard and not making the money that they deserve, because I know what it feels like to work an 8, 9, 10-hour day and not making the money that you need. So I think you guys should sign those pieces of paper and send them in. Give them hell.
Thank you. Yeah, and at community colleges, as opposed to universities, everyone's mission is teaching, and universities have a bunch of different stuff that going on that community colleges don't do. Tenure faculty teach only and teach besides, though, doing necessary committee work, and if you're a student, you have no idea how much work it takes to manage and maintain a department that you might have 15 or 20 different course offerings with hundreds of sections of courses. You've got to develop curriculum. You've got to make sure things are running smoothly, basically. And so one of the things, another point that a student said that I just wanted to address quickly before more students speak, is that 75% of part-time faculty are currently, 75% of all faculty are currently part-time. But in 1970, it was the reverse. In 1970, 75% of college professors at community colleges, universities, everywhere were full-time. And so that has shifted steadily since 1970 to today. 25% of the faculty are now full-time instead of 75%. And so if probably, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say something in defense of tenure track faculty, that if they are not spending as much time as adjuncts, it's not because they don't love to teach, it's because they're so busy doing 5 jobs that should be done
by 5 people who are currently adjuncts who should be full-time, if you follow me. So having adjuncts who are currently adjuncts teaching 30, 20, 15 years like me, 10 years like Keith, the reason we're doing this is because we love it, just frankly. We love teaching, and we're trained to do it. That's what we do. We're professionals, and we teach. That's what we do. On a personal note, a student's favorite teacher, John Raw, is one of my favorite friends. He, I am afraid, is making a decision to leave the profession. He has said this in public, so that's why I feel comfortable to say it, but this is a loss that is immeasurable, and he's not alone. Faculty all over the country, as well as here, who are adjunct for 5, 10, 15 years, are making another choice. And we're losing that intellectual capital that is so valuable to the success of our nation. So, equal pay for equal work is a start. Ultimately, 75%, like it used to be, full-time, would be the goal. Are there more students who want to speak? I'd like to have another student up here. Yes.
John, real quick, Hazel just told me there's a hashtag, National Adjunct Day, and Twitter's going crazy today. So all of you that Twitter, get on there.
I just wanted to know what else the students could do besides sign these pieces of paper to help you guys become full-time.
You can call your representatives, your assembly member representatives, your senators. You can speak out. You can go online, and you can, speaking of social media, one of the reasons that this National Adjunct Action Day, originally called National Adjunct Walkout Day, is happening actually across the nation. You may not know, this is happening at hundreds of locations across the nation, and probably at least a dozen here in San Diego. And so the reason it's happening is because the word got out online through Facebook, Twitter,